Well, it's happened again, and this time I need your help to figure it out how to fix this thing. Remember that four-wheel drive service problem I had years ago on my Ram 3500? Yeah, it was back about almost 40,000 miles ago where I had the light come on. I couldn't get it to go off. I was 1,500 miles from home, and I talked to Ram on the phone a couple of times, and the young lady ended up saying, well, if the light's yellow and not red, it's just a precautionary thing, so go ahead and drive it. And I did. I drove it all the way back home, and I took it in for service. Service said that they replaced the module. Fortunately, at that time, I was under warranty, and it didn't cost me anything. I've got 68,000 plus miles on it now. The warranty is long gone, so I'm reluctant to take it back into the dealership yet without doing more investigation and maybe hearing from some of you guys out there and girls that have had this problem and you found a fix other than going to the dealer. Now, here's where I am. I'm on a long trip, a 30-day trip, thousands of miles away from home. I'm coming up on the 67,500 mark, knowing that I'm going to get an indication to change the crankcase vent filter. So I get that indication. It says perform service. I kept on going, no problem. And within about 300 miles, I get this service four-wheel drive indicator comes on again. Now the road was a little bit bumpy at that time. It's interstate travel, but you know how interstates can get bumpy. So I'm wondering if that doesn't do something to jar the connectors down there to make that light come on. I don't know. I can't get under there. I've got severe vertigo when I lie down on my back and get up under a vehicle. Things start spinning, I get nauseated, so I don't get under the vehicles anymore, but I'm going to have a fella check that out when I get back home. But that's going to be another 2,500 miles at a minimum before I get back home to have that checked out. So on a side note, I mentioned the crankcase ventilation filter coming on saying perform service. Well, I did the steps to clear that and it worked perfectly. I'll put those steps down in the comments down below so you will have those available when you get to that 67,500 mile mark on your Ram, and you're going to get that indication. Now here's where I need your help. What have you done? Have you done anything to be able to clear that service four-wheel drive light without going into the dealer? And even if you replace the actuator module yourself, I'd like to hear back from that on maybe where you got it, what was involved, the expense, if possible, what it cost you to do that. I'm just wondering if this is something that, you know, Ram should be taking care of this. Since I had that module replaced, my truck has been in four-wheel drive one time, and that was when I was backing up, parking my RV on some wet grass. And that's been about 3.5 years ago. So it's not like I'm using this four-wheel drive and working that actuator. Maybe that's it. Maybe it needs to be worked. I don't know. I'm looking for answers for this. And if you have anything to help me out with this, please reach out, post something down in the comments. You can find me on Twitter and places like that. But I'd like to know what you did to fix yours, and I will be greatly indebted to you if I can stay away from that dealership this time. Once I do get it fixed, I'm going to post down in the comments what I did, and maybe that'll help you. When I posted my first video on this subject years ago, I got a lot of comments with people having this issue. And they were asking what I did to fix it, and they didn't know what was going on with theirs. Well, I didn't get any feedback from any of those folks on what they did to fix their problem. So I'm really hoping that I do get feedback off of this one here. It's a little bit redundant to the other video, but here we've gone, you know, I've gone another almost 50,000 miles in several years on an actuator that hasn't even been used, and now I'm getting this service four-wheel drive light, and I'm just extremely reluctant to be replacing that actuator. Well, that's my rant for now. Thanks for watching. If you have some feedback, please put it in the comments down below. Until next time, stay safe and hope to see you down the road.